hopefully. Let's see if... I hate when I get random crashes. Okay, let me set that to... Sometimes it's my mouse software, sometimes it's the graphics card. My mouse software automatically forces the one mouse configuration for this window, so sometimes it glitches out when I go back and forth between windows. All right. Man, that sucks. Hopefully I don't like miss out on whatever video is about to play. That would be shitty. Okay. No. Close. B. Yes. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. We've been here before. Alright. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. About a drink. Trying to get caught up to where I was. Bottoms up. Yep. Empties the cup on a single pull. Okay, I think it was here it crashed. What I got? Oh. It was very kind of you, sir, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? Oh, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurers at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Adazel? Azadel. He was Khan of the Ari tribe, which sailed to Thelinar from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Radhedzan. His decisions to aid the Ekisara is what ultimately won them the war against the Gahestera, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundations for this thriving city-state. Truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Aldizal III, who was known for his his deeds as it satrap of Redhedzan's earlier days. Some attest that this man's traveled to another world entirely and has returned with glittering riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there's that tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem to be most curious about. According to this legend, Al-Zadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep, secret storehouse, all locked and locked all his worldly wealth within. In centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radhedzan, folk would remember the tale of hidden treasure, Hardy souls would set to claim their fortune, but precious few made it home. Ever made it home? Would you like to hear more? Apologies. I have a slight tickle in... Oh, my cup appears to be empty. Another round for the professor. I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for professor. Oh ho ho ho! Today was a splendid day to visit Mehedin. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Hick. Yes, those who did return seeking the treasure vault flatly refused to speak what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only serve to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spiritus portables? Yes, it is. Anyway, I was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear, but he did have... I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words send you to your death, I could never live with myself. I am no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers would you have faced? The very edge of existence. From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I'd recognize you. You're the hero of the final days. A drink, I need another drink to settle my nerves. Mahil, more of the same, if you please. As you were, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Jalheel drains yet another cup dry. He's fucking wasted. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. Dish friend as Shamarsh, he was desperate to buy a treasure map. One would show the way to the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? But I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my beast friend. Mahil, more drinks. Signal for water instead. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I am perished. Jahil gulps down the cup of water. Poof, that was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Sheesh, that's probably for the beasts. You are very kind, really. My head will shortly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am to put my mind to words of the Master Jahazan. Be wary how much you drink, you shallst least lest it swallow you. Forgive me, I will. I missed it! Alright. You will. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Jalheen has to share reading the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Ezahama. Okay. So I gotta find some dude here, right? I wonder which dude it is. I mean, he's got a marker over his head too, but the crowd of people gathered around him kind of gives it away. Yes, I am Ejima. And who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friends took a ship out in search of Azadel's legacy, and I've been watching his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding the vault. And that look in his eyes, I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he was lusting after. He was hunting Azadel's the Third's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for mystery of the and of the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me, how he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Ajal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what manner of wealth he had, he instead planned to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty. Within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Azadel's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home.
Please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy.
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed would never return with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
The kid's in on it.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
I mean, that would prevent a starving sister from whatever, right? Anyway.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure.
I wonder if they added that line if you did this. Probably not.
Favner of all places. Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping.
That'd be really cool though if they added that line, just if you were wearing this this glam.
Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
Is he gonna make you pay for the map?
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
He's gonna leave the city.
You needn't mind us.
He's not even checking the goods to make sure it's not
And now I've
trash.
placed one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
Never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself.
But for the boy who
If
just
such a
fleeced you.
fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent, whether the map leads us to the vault or not. You are coming along, yes? I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
Am I gonna buy a boat? Alright. So the boy overheard the conversation. That's what I'm assuming there. Boy, this loading screen. Da, da, dee, da, 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 da. What? You would recall I spoke of visiting Thavenar at Vitra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast and made his proposal once I was too full from Hanish's delights to refuse. He wishes to trade me. He wishes me to trade in the Radiant Host and lance work. But that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Matsisia is a fisherman by trade, yes. We should head to Akali and see if he can help us. Off to the fishing port. Charmine wolf marks. What's this? Is that a new? That's a new currency, isn't it? For whatever the new PvP thing is. Huh. That's got to be. All right. I got plenty. So I'm not doing roulettes anyway right now. It's just a big deal. I'm not capped out either. I had a bad tendency of continuing to do PvP while my wolf marks are capped. My friend, what brings you to our humble village? So you need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins? Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. So the boy's following us. Shh. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walked so that we would not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but you aren't the heroes who saved Thalion, are you? I know you are. Oh, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thalion? Yeah. And I've gone and cheated you. I work with Azel, you see, the map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done and beg your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister would. My sister and I never have. Well, we'd be. Enough. I knew your Gabe, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. You are kind to overlook the wrong I have done you. But there is more you need to know. When did he switch his armor out? I didn't notice it. The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zal selling the information to another customer. He told the man where he needed to search about the ruins. About the vault, about everything. The man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there's little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of now you've gone and made him cry. I did not. That was not my intention. Oh, very well. Assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The Scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Uh, Either. I don't know. I'm gonna go for the twins. Little Lord Elf. They were not bound for Galenwood. They are far more important matters to attend to than diving for trinkets. Well, if you're gonna go for people not doing anything important, probably these two. Thancred and Oliger, huh? Two would answer a call certainly, but left the Rising Stones with a definite task in mind. I am loath to interrupt their self-appointed mission. Alright, how about Gratia and Krill? They're probably just chilling out in that one city. May find. Okay, but you've reached. Alright. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is strong as you. Is he, though? Strong, I mean? What's your name, boy? Meherde? Meherde? Well, Meherde, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you wish to keep your sister safe. I am not proud of what I do. But what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grumbly orphans. Wait, boy. I did not take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Hasidian. Hasidian is ready to escort Mehedre to safety. And I got food. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I shall leave you to recruit Grahea. Grahea. I'm bad at pronouncing his name. He'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I am sure. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you to the right direction. Let us be off to Mahadrid. Do me a favor and don't stray from the path. Ta-da! Alright, friends for the road. We are going to Old Charleyan. I'm really bad at pronouncing these words. Man, these loading screens. I wonder if I should move this game onto my SSD just to get these loading screens down. I think this game's installed on one of my platter drives. Portable archive. What's that again? I don't know. A copied factory. Is this like there's not much in there. Is that just... I don't know what that's related to. It's fine. Do. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back. What might the students do for you? Graha? Yes, he's in the main hall with Mrs. Creel. We've been holed up in there. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break. We getting another trailer? Yay, I think we're getting another trailer.
Ojika, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
What are you two working on?
Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Vow.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around? The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
Azadal the Third.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
I want to go.
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along? Then might I suggest we invite Yestola?
Yestola.
Ever since the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Google Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenor.
Numenor.
Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe Yestola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger.
Urianger? I thought he was too busy doing stuff.
He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like.
Oh, so he's already looking at for the treasure vault, huh?
From what I can gather, the Loporrits are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
Guess we could bring some bunnies along too, right?
The benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with Yestola.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Some other matter.
Right.
Okay.
Then it's off to the library.
Oh, wait, teleport. Can you teleport over there? You can teleport over here. That works, I guess. Da da do da. Do da da do. Do da do da. Do do do. Do 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 do. No no no. Da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. What's this dude? Is that like a robot? I want to look at him. I want to look at him. Okay. She passed out. Wait. Okay, she's reading the books down there. Okay, but she's like passed out with the pile of books on her. Oh, so she is passed out, just on the books rather than the books on her. Okay, that works.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
You throw some water on her? Are we all gonna sleep? Is that what's happening?
Close my eyes for one moment. How long have you two been here?
Catching up on some light reading.
Something to that effect. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me? Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Akyali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him and be on our way.
go now? Oh, we're going down to the ship. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh shoot, I went the wrong way. Fly! Woo! Look at that bird's armor. Alright. Urianje. If I can click on you, I'll talk to you. Okay, there it goes.
Our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure.
I super hope this dialogue is based on if you're reading this glam or not.
I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
Good to see you as well.
And thee. As ever, thou art the picture of strength.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed.
What lands? Where? Exploring space?
Travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperites had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum have been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
What does that have to do with treasure vaults?
You have learned of my predicament from Mistress Kryle.
Kryle.
I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperites now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts.
Loperites.
Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation.
Yeah.
How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Estinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
5's enough. Is what? Okay.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Or are you going to be a bard now? I thought you were a rogue, and then a gunslinger.
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
How was your pilgrimage?
Having an astrologian beside you on the road is surprisingly convenient. And it doesn't hurt that he's making strides with his light-hearted banter.
A gunslinger and an astrologian walk into a bar.
As we made our way around Ilsabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches.
My eyes are itchy.
So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seem fit to gather?
Oh, none of your business. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. We're all good.
Beneath the waters of the bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
The Loporrits.
Ah, of course. And if you have a Stinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, it's best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Who are those people? They seem like they don't like us very much.
I'll return to my usual reconnaissance. And
Or
scout
does
out
he mean
the
that there might be a
situation
doom
in the
coming?
Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations.
People worry that doom's coming because too many scions are talking to each other. Right? So he's gonna okay. So he's gonna go off to the Far East. Okay.
Till we meet again.
See you next patch.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
People just rolling up in their car, just driving in the underground. Roll up in the car to the spaceship, that VIP style. Alright, back to the fishing village. And I'm gonna go rinse my eyes out during the loading screen. Alright, back. Mounting up. Oh, alright. That way, let's go! Adventure awaits! There's a dude back there called Nosferatu? Oh, no, never mind. He pets the Nosferatu. So probably someone's pet. You can get a flying mount that's just a fucking, like, robot that carries you around? That's fucking cool. Alright, what's next? I sent you to recruit Gra, and you return with an entire survey party. I hope Bestia's boat is sturdy enough to carry us all. We get 2 boats. What he means is we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. We are more than glad for the chance to provide it. I ask only that you take care to steer clear of the reefs in the shallows there. I will keep an eye out. What kind of food do I want? What kind of food do I want? Okay, tenacity, skill speed. I think I want tenacity food. Okay. Where we going, George? Where we going? Yustola is intrigued by the legend of Azaldal III. Alright. Ow. My neck's crinking a little bit. Azaldal, I confess, I am somewhat embarrassed that the tale of his journey to another world escaped my notice. Could it be more than a simple folklore? And what of the treasure he supposedly brought back? This undersea vault may hold relics from another reflection. My friends, we should temper our expectations. The map doth promise ruins, but beyond that, we know not what we will find. Not until we find it, eh? So let us dispense of this conjecture and set sail for the vault. Yeah, itchy. Da do da da do 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 da da do 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 da 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 da. Quest accepted. Yazzel's legacy. Is it dungeon? What are we doing? Alright. Who do I want to bring with me to the dungeon? I'm going to bring him. Oh, I get to select from here. Alright, I need a healer. Let's see, he's an all-rounder. This is hard. Can I just bring him as my healer? Sorry, Anjay. I like these guys. I like all of them more. Let's go. Register for duty. No? Why can't I register for the duty? Yeah, okay. Okay, now can I do it? Yeah! Commence. This is the first time I've ever used the NPCs. So let's see how that goes. Pineapple o'clock. I don't know what those are actually. Yel Hadild's legacy. Stern face. Alright. Stance, go! I'm gonna get bonus tombstones because I'm the only one. Because there's a new party member who hasn't done this dungeon before? That's surprising. I don't remember my buttons that well in Warrior, so good luck, everybody. I remember them good enough, though, apparently, so. Alright, let's pull more shit. Underlay, woohoo! Is it dead? It died, okay. Whoa. Alright, this mobs. Magic Bridge, go! An invisible spell? Well, I wish they would put that down there. I want to read what they say down there.
Allow me.
Where we going now, George? Where we going now, George? Going through the waterfalls. All right. It's like a squid. Like a squid jellyfish, like hybrid or something, I don't know. We good? We good? We good? Eyesore bards. The gelatinous eyesore bars our path. I guess they do it right down there. I'm just kind of blind apparently. I'm assuming I should not be in that zone. Holy shit, holy shit. It's just spewing red shit everywhere, huh? Okay, so wherever those end, that's where they're gonna pop out of the fucking ground, right? Oof, vulnerability up. No problem. Oh shit. I don't like this. Ooh, ooh, that was not good. I should have just looked where they're standing and try to go where they're at. I guess it's one way to learn dungeon mechanics. Learn where the NPCs are going. I'm getting hit by both of them because I'm being bad. By trying to prevent getting hit by either, I'm getting hit by both. Not doing well. Okay, you need to blood away and go, 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 go. They just LV'd for that? Okay. What did I get? I don't know what I got. Phoenix down? Okay. Am I gonna go through a series of tubes? I'm going through a series of tubes! Glyph of passage directly, confirming bearer's identity. There's an aquarium? Or is this already underwater? Oh, this, like, front area is flooded. So I need to get some distance there. I got a new bracelet. What does this one do again? I don't know. I need to refamiliarize myself with Warrior. I don't remember what a lot of the abilities did since I leveled it. It's the tank I leveled the fastest, just because, I don't know, it was fun to play while leveling. Ooh, what's going on here? Brazen 3, fuel proceed, no further. You just gonna pull some sharks in here and shit? We got 2 groups in here already. Is it like percent based? So if they keep, I think it is percent based. So as the NPCs are attacking the thing, it's pulling more and more mobs in here. And that's probably gonna be the strat anyway. But yeah. Yay, we killed them. Nothing that way. Go this way. There's a wallish looking dude, huh? You're doing too many defenses at once, sir. Okay, we're good. Get out of the AoEs. Did it! Alright, where are we going next? Get the treasure coffer! That's gonna be adding to my issues of bag space. Just all my bags are full all the time. King Crab! Crown. Shit, get out of the AoE. Alright. Alright, looks like I got upper for the server tech. came from that way. This is the way. We go down the stairs, even further down into the depths. What is that thing? It's like arms and a robot, maybe? Armored chariot. So we got... Oh, shit. Okay, Tim, we go this way? Yeah. That's pretty easy.
There.
Two, three, and boom. Oh, I don't like this. I am not liking this. Let's go.
Allow me.
Okay. Blow him up. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. We're safe here for now. Spread. What the fuck did I die from? Is that wrong about the mechanic there? Was that not a spread? Was that a stack or something? Is there a shortcut? There has to be a shortcut. That's a long ass run back. Yeah, there's a shortcut, okay. Alrighty. Go down the series of tubes. Salt encrusted teleporter. What the fuck? Oh, that's like a little rock outclave there or something. Go, 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 go. Run, 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 run. I always hate when I sneeze in pairs. I always sneeze in pairs almost though. wide, huh? Think here I'll be safe, yep. What's your standard quarters? Okay. This is where I died last time for some reason. Alright. I probably was standing in melee from that and it took a shit ton of damage and then I got hit by something else and yada yada yada. Oh boy. Right here probably. Another raid wide. I shouldn't have used that there. I should have held off for a minute. Alright, probably here. We did it! There's some treasure. Run, 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 run. More mobs, yay! Fuck. Defensives. Bloodwood and go. Up another defensive. Give me a second. Bloodwood and go. Did it. We're getting it. Got out of the AoE. Oh, 6 and 9 share cooldown. Okay. Doritius Deletius. Sprintius. Have some cooldowns. Bloodwind, go, 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 go. alive, stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive a little longer. Okay, blood wedding again. Go, 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 go. Again, get out of the AoE. Did it. Okay, good, good, good. Get a little movie. Dude's like made of cloth. He's like a robot wrapped in cloth ribbons or something. Alright. Hoo-wee. There's a treasure chest. Getting more materia. Da 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 do do da 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 da. That's the wrong ability, that's fine, I don't care. I'll turn this down a little bit, it's a little loud. Whoa, that was fucking colorful. Oh. Da 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 do da dee da da do da do da. I did it! Put some cooldowns.
Gloves are off.
This is, you get yellow and green ribbons. Okay, so the one he highlights explodes. The one that he doesn't highlight is a safe spot. Shake it off. Holy shit, I'm still going. I was not planning to take this long. I'm taking a lot of damage. Okay, there we go. Pop some cooldowns. My blood ring is on cooldown. Alright. Remain safe. Spread. He's down. Da 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 da. Alright, we get some movies.
What have we here?
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Varshran. Stop, you mustn't touch it. Hey Dragon Boy, what's up?
Vritra! Oh,
Vitra.
my apologies. Should
Vitra.
I continue calling you Varshan?
Varshan.
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our union. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
Sealing away what exactly?
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Perhaps you should. Bada-bing. You broke the seal. Oh my.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Void gates and fissures are much the same thing in practice, in the sense that they both allow passage between the source and the 13th. The difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is the product of deliberate action. I suspect this is the latter, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think our search for material riches would lead to this priceless discovery. That swirling emptiness, it puts me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Complete. Are we gonna get the Catboy back? Was his name Sith or whatever? I want the Catboy. Or did he die? I don't remember. You may now enter Adithara's Legacy with party NPC avatars to make use of this open trust, blah 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 blah. Y'shtola is appraising the Void Gate with a scholarly eye. Alright.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Meracidia.
Meracidia.
The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities.
Okay.
In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Voidsent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya.
It's Daya.
We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus, I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Allag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat-Han was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of voidsent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Radzat-Han and abandoning your sister. You chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness. Turn purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether. Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the First Brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. Now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Da-di-da-di-da. Let's go, Yestola. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I can learn more how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the Guardians so you so handily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. My apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we'll happily be offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians around on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Razad Han. Hoorah! I don't remember being down this hallway. I also don't remember that thing. Da dee da. Alright, where's the NPC in this field of dudes? Oh, he caught him, but okay, maybe he's not there. He's over in this pile. There he is. I promise we discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault's sentinels. As your instructions, I have no doubt informed you, the capital has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring one out. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born from the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me blasphemy, yet roams free. Nothing to see here. Why such guilty faces? Surely it isn't you who are responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. Is it still functional? It is still functional, yes. Indeed, which is... Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to the beasts teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would emit only the lowest of the void scent, and from this side, no man would be able to pass through it. No man, I think Alphanode would give it a firm push. Affirmative push. Okay, physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the aesthetic density of the soul in transit. You succeed in expanding it. Yo. And yet you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemist, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them to devise a means to control it. After much experimenting, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics can manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up the searching for Egida, there was no need to preserve such eccentric and dangerous knowledge. Thus, had the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway was sealed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void scent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the bounty gate. Perhaps you could resume the search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. And I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? I was bored. Let's see if I can get... I don't know what to do with the camera. See how bad that looks. No, I missed the thing! That probably looks terrible with the light. Yow! That's probably too dark. I don't know what to do. Like, I guess right here would be perfect. But that wouldn't work. Whatever, I'll put it up top again. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, and I might alleviate my people's suffering. So he's probably just talking about the treasure trove. Then we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe yous and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you may ask, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thine study, but the Laporets will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. I must be off to Shangri-La as well. Mrs. Krill was eager to speak with you about the request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able to. Farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. You now may undertake the Chronicles of the New Era quest, Myths of the Realm. Speak to the fresh-faced student at the Baldesian Annex to accept the first quest. This is like more quests or something? Hello, sir. The difficult part in all this was deciding how best to put those riches to use. You will lead me... Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Sure, why not? Ba-da-ba-da-boom. Thank you. Zen and I are in this together. I will follow his example. Complete. Meanwhile, somewhere else, or elsewhere. Nope, looked totally normal. Not kind of creepy at all. So it looks like a throne on a weird platform. Are those like the different elements of the void? They're being really careful not to show this guy's face. I sensed the breach of a gate, but it was not instigate from this side. 'Twas thrown open by the other. From the other. So that's the gate of Earth? Okay. I too felt it, a rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. So throne of Earth, throne of Fire. An opponent is upon us, the coming of which we have waited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip from our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate he who bested the cloud of darkness, even restrained by a covenant. The cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Throne of water, blah, let him come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in his final moments. Knight in Black. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we ceded not our will to fight. Tis time we set this war in motion and win redemption of our star for our star. Sharing the wealth. Varshin wishes to discuss the distribution of treasure. Shall we begin? If we are to spend treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask you to act in my stead. Then you are to visit Akili and Yadelamad. Speak with Matizia and his people and listen to their grievances. Sidian, I bid you do the same at the Pelikastans. I will be conducting my own inquiries into Giant Gal's grounds. Da doo da da dee da dee doo doo da. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megkadulat. Da dee da dee da dee da. Alright, where are we going? Sharing the wealth. Back to the fishing village. Ow. Pony! Okay, let's fly. Zen, I was glad to see you have returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kelzal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find the buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, there's so much more difficult than it was before. It is so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together best we can. Junkmonger. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thevlar, then you must try special Amaryllassi. It is refreshing zest cannot be beat. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. Blah, 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 blah. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally, I part with three bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing it from me. You're the only thief around here. Baba Booey! Gah, you're the one who was with that spear-toting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame me for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we're still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sister, spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices, I tell you. If I did not charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the streets. Sigh. How fares the port? Well, it is in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more. No, that the danger has passed, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kazal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done. God rest his soul. You have spoken to local key figures, gained understanding of the populace hardships. Vashin once awaits your report and blah blah blah. Sharing the wealth. Go 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 go. Alright. Alright, I got a crystal nearby, so Ethernet. Aethernet. Aethernet. Aether. It's not Ethernet, it's Aethernet. It's totally different. Ah. Da da dee da. Do da da dee da. Do da da dee da. My advisor's return. I have just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling, to say the least. And there are few places I can enter comfortably without risking flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Paliska Stand were unanimous in their reply. They are starving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they preserved with some assistance from Yedmidhead. I don't know. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Pelican's Stand has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a wagon full of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between compared to their best years. The weight of stone leaving Thevenar has been lightened indeed. Our nation is small and isolated. Its prosperity depends on steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade so we may begin working with removing them. Tell me, what did you learn in Yakeli and Yedlameda? You need boats! I see without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch, which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and storage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlinmad. I don't know. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father was lost at sea when a beast struck their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale repeated over and over, so many lives lost. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. Enough grief to drown if we let ourselves be overcome. But we will not. Zan Astidian, I will consider the perspectives you've brought to me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversary. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadar's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. We aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamar. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazar's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them? gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course? Of course, we must all look out for one another. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of our Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name. A fitting candidate. Kalzar should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
veteran Radiant wishes to share his gratitude. Thank you for putting forth Khazal's name. For those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Yestola. She asked that you meet her in High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood, thank you. Yestola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we find what shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been well-oiled cogs of this administration since before the Aowan assumed the office. They should understand what needs to be done. I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Where are we going now? Oh, back over there. Okay. Dharma. Figure out what that word means. Principal order of the principal law that orders the universe. Individual conduit in conformity within this principle, the essential function of nature of a thing. The essential function or nature of a thing. Okay. What's up, Yestola?
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were born safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Heyo.
Then what of the many Voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
Heyo. Hey.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Voidsent's physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No. The danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I assure you I was most attentive, and I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the Cloud of Darkness, well, I imagine my chances will be much improved. I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Soundtrack's personal authority.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daemir was overseeing the project.
Damien. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daemir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with... Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Bringing the rift back to Shalalalalalaland. Da da dee da da do da da dee da da what da 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 dee da da. All right, Yestola, where are we going now? If you were to enter Nomunan's restricted archives with a minimum fuss, then we must secure permission from the forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of members to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind. What scholar Montecalvo? He did come to Grehage's defense when the inquiry came, after all. 'Tis settled. Let us head to Phenomenon and see if he is willing to help us once more. Alright, where are we towing off to? All the way over there. Alright. Da do dee do do dee do. Da 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 do dee do. Da, da, da. Apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a decade. I have never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him in off the street, he was put in the care of another Archon. He was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. Sometimes I wonder what my life might have been like if I pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last... what? That does sound lovely. Afternoon spent with friends sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I would give up time with Master Matoya for the world. I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from bright, airy halls of academia as one can get, but a wondrous magical childhood nonetheless. Yeah, it does. Her model, like, at this distance looks really, really good, like, detail-wise. And again, So is this new the clothes here. They hold up even good when you zoom in. I don't know. Da do dee do 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 do. What's up, Pops? Visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, scholar, but we were searching. We were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Nobunam's restricted archives. Oh, no forays into the stacks this time, eh? Yeah. I applaud this newfound sense of propriety, yet in this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb the vault of the forbidden wisdom? Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind House Diamar has laid dormant in Charlian's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. I need to go get my beard trimmed. I got these split ends and they're bugging the fuck out of me right now. To end, what end, pray tell? To develop a method of transversing the rift, for one that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. Yet I understand, and yet I want to understand everything to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Marvelous. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoi herself. After hearing the whys and wherefores, I, for one, do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I saw no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Although your petition would be better received if you had also the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Forcherant, of course, he could hardly ignore an earnest request from his dearest children's treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Forcherant, I can't pronounce that, on our side would tip the balance in our favor as well. May we pay a visit to Levieria's estate and plead our case? One last thing before you go, I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you made in the void. My appetite for knowledge is I skipped that! Of course, scholar, we We'll be sure to pass any revelations. On any revelations. Ba-da-ba-da-boom. Going over there now. North. Bum 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 ba-da-da-da. Master Zen, Mistress Matoya, how may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Forgerant. Is he home by any chance? Yes, Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, well. Amaliance would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss? Pray tell, may you have my full attention? You may... whatever. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocol this time around. Scholar Mushelin expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you we're not attempting to circumvent the form's authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Do what I want or I'm going to do it anyway. Of course. Do you understand the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, why risk the consequences of imploring this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian, his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horrors and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reuniting. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days. Loyal to his duty, while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. One who's fearing losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it. Surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate it just yet. The forum still must be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Badalician Axe. getting tired. I'm probably gonna continue this tomorrow. Ooh, this is probably a good spot to stop. Good night, everybody.